This is a huge piece of basalt I've had for a long time, and it rings like a bell. Probably going to be deaf by the end of knapping it today, but usually I make big haskets out of these, which is really fun and cool, but this one is so nice and flat and wide that I'm going to try and make a larger blade out of it, because I really like this material, and I like to showcase the material, and it's fun, it's cool stuff, it's glossy, it's cool. So I think I'm gonna keep it wide on this one if possible. Okay, so wow. Oh my god, that's loud. I think I actually might need ear protection. Yep. Okay. That's good stuff. I'll steven this edge right here. Oh boy, here comes Zeke. Hi Zeke. Hi buddy. Don't step on those. So this platform I'm gonna hit with an elk billet.
Everybody's checking.
Flake went that way. Okay. I hope the shadows aren't messing with the video. I'm gonna go get my piece of wood and see if I can do something with that. I'm just curious to see, because I haven't really napped with wood much. But I know it works. But I think this one may not be dense enough to work on this material. We'll see. This is Osage, I believe. And I also don't really know what kind of platforms to hit. I've heard kind of like wide platforms. That's working all right. Also probably be good to have, got low power. Also probably be good to have a little bit of wear on this. I'm gonna try and get a big flake across here. Okay. This is steepening that area, making the platform a little steeper. I'm not gonna hit this one with wood because it's just, I know I can feel it's not powerful enough to get through here. I'm gonna hit it with this elk again. There we go. I don't know if this one's gonna go.
Okay, I'm gonna be making a list for the whole fam.
Okay, well, all right, cool.
Okay?
Yep. Yep. Okay. Basically just taking advantage of this natural platform here. Why can't it just be quiet when I'm filming a video? Why does there have to be so much commotion? Got a helicopter, freaking light rail, people running around, dogs barking. Okay. Only worked a handful of these materials, this basalt, in my life. 3 or 4 pieces of this material, but it knaps so well you don't really have to have that much experience with it. It follows directions pretty well. Oh. A lot of people say basalt, oh, it's so tough. But this basalt is really good. Certain basalts are tough. These are really not great platforms, but this is an early stage, and all I really need them to do is clear an area and make it flat. Like, we gotta blend this area in. So I'm actually gonna take these flakes down this way. The nice thing about this too is I'm not really abrading much. I'm just kind of turning around and womping. And you can see I'm zigzagging this base here, but it's really, you don't always have to do this. In fact, it's much better to look for natural platforms as much as you can in the early stages of napping. I'm napping a little more over here. This area in here is kind of thin, so I'm not gonna take a bunch of thinning flakes over here, because if I did, then I'd have a really thin edge and it'd be hard to get into the interior of the stone. So it's kind of nice to match it up with the thickness of the other edges, because that way once you start actually thinning and making the blade, the biface, it's not going to be hard to remove certain hinges that I created early on in the stage. I'm not really going for a whole lot of thinning flakes right now. I'm just using this natural platform here. Look at all the flakes in the tool. I don't have much faith in this platform, but to hit it right. I don't want these flakes to go far. I'm just gonna hit them loosely with a hammerstone. Get them to go right there, because I'm turning this edge. I don't want them to go that far. I'm hitting them practically straight down. Because that way, when I'm turning this edge, I'm not gonna have a bunch of hinges over on this side. It's gonna be cleaner. Chipping clean on this material is essential. It's not as forgiving as obsidian or other materials are. There's some hinging in there. I'm really using the advantage of the elk to knock big flakes off, because if you saw that platform, it really wasn't great. Had I hit that with a bopper or any sort of metal tool or even a hammerstone, that platform would have crushed. But with the elk, it's kind of soft, and I can just kind of whomp on these ill-prepared platforms pretty well, and they will go where I want them to. I'm hitting them kind of slowly. This contour over here needs to be changed. This stuff naps really well. Got a big blade thing coming along here. I just love this material. It's so cool. I I would love to go and collect some. It's a little squirrely in here. I think that's mostly my fault, but it can get kind of steppy in certain areas. I'm trying to catch a lot of that square edge. You can see there with these flakes that are coming off. So I'm catching the square edge as I'm moving along, and sometimes there's a little left over. I don't really like to hit those, just kind of chop them down. That way you're making the area stronger, and you're also further isolating the square edge you're trying to remove. This isn't going to be a big flake. I'm just simply removing this square edge here. Thank God that flake didn't hinge there. It should have, but it didn't for some reason. This material sometimes has directionality too, so like certain platforms will go in the direction that you want, and then other platforms, even if they're made correctly, will not go, and they'll just hinge. Could do most of this work with just this elk, but it's nice to have the hammerstone to touch up platforms. Thought that one may have hinged. This is from a deadhead elk, so I was able to get a lot of the skull on there. I've been using this bopper for like 6 years. I love it. Actually 5 years. But I still have the other one. Okay, that was a lip flake. Pulled a lot off the edge. Just because of the shape of the platform. It didn't hinge, it just kind of came out abruptly right there. I wasn't expecting it to go that far, or I shouldn't have hit it that hard. Because it did mess with the balance a little bit. That's okay. We're not working to a certain edge though, fortunately. My phone is at 15 or 20%, so I'll have to do this in parts. So this edge needs to be turned down this way to take some more flakes this way. I'm going to do that with the little hammerstone. Actually, I'll do it with this one. when I'm doing this, I'm grinding off a lot of those little imperfections that are created when I'm striking the edge. That edge is pretty low still. I'll just hit it. If the edge is low and you don't want it to hinge, just hit it higher. Higher up on the platform. That one did hinge right there though. Not bad, but still a hinge. So now I gotta raise this up. Still a wide platform. Oh, that's too bad. It's okay. I should probably support this better. There goes my pad. It's okay. I wanted to nap this because I was looking through my rock pile and I turned this one over and I accidentally crushed a spider while doing it and I felt bad, so I was like, I can't just do that and then set it back down. I gotta pay some respect to the spider I killed, because if I'm not gonna nap it and put it back, it's kind of lame. Poor little guy. She told me she had a family of 3,000. I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Don't make me cry even more. So now at this stage, I'm kind of slowing down and I'm thinking more about opportunistic flakes like that. It's still completely random. I'm trying to get it thinner. You see how far that one's spread out because it's not really isolated, it's just an opportunistic flake. But at a certain point, I gotta start isolating them because I don't want them to spread out like that. To designate ridges to very specific platforms, or vice versa if you'd like to look at it that way. I don't know if this one's gonna work. Yep, see, that one didn't spread out as much. It went far, but it didn't spread out as much because it was somewhat isolated. Okay, I'll take a couple more flakes and then I'll shut this off because I need to charge my phone. Probably be back in the evening. Take some flakes up towards the tip here. Nice. Still got a little bit of cortex on the tip there. That's always fun. I want to hit those hard. Just want to blend those. Create some more contour. I'm going to get this so you can see the flakes a little better in the background a little better. Because there's already a lot of shadows here. So it's kind of hard to see underneath that. I'm going to take a series of flakes on this side. If you're watching this to learn about knapping, take everything I do with a grain of salt, because I'm still learning a lot. But you can learn a lot by recognizing patterns through watching many videos and looking at pictures and stuff. You can learn a lot. So this edge is all right. We're gonna take a series of flakes though that flatten it out a little bit, hopefully. No, the last one kind of dove. We just took a nice thinning series. And now I'm at 10%, it looks like. All those flakes are just to thin out the area, get rid of irregularities like this. So I'll turn this edge and do the same thing with the continuous platform. And just strike based on spacing. You can clean up after yourself when you take a flake, but it's still pretty early stage, so I'm just womping. Gotta be a little more careful on this platform. The good thing is, once you've been flint knapping for a while, you can kind of look at a platform and say, that doesn't look right. So this one is hanging over, it doesn't look right. Hanging over platform is what gives you hinges. This one's going to be a long flake, hopefully. Oh, I misstruck it. Okay. Gotta be careful here because this flake failed and it is overhanging. There we go. I was gonna say this area is overhanging a little bit. I wanted to get a cleaner flake, and it did. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here. There's still more flakes that can be taken on this backside, but right now, maybe I'll take just a couple more right here. Oh boy, you can't even see what I'm doing. Per usual, I'm very bad at flint knapping. I can't tell you how many times I've filmed a video and it's been out of frame or whatever. Okay. Okay, let's take you off the tripod and then we'll cut it. Take a little break. Okay, I'll remove those hinges later. Gotta get all the flakes out of my sandals. Okay, so here it is. Early stage wampum. And yeah, I love this material. It's so fun. I don't know if there's anything that was made like this. I don't know if big blades are made or anything like that. Mostly just seen Bahada points and archaic points and stuff. But yeah, that's early stage wampum on some basalt with elk.